A former police chief known as the Devil in the Ozarks escaped prison in Arkansas. This is him bald to the left and with a cul-de-sac to the right. And honestly, he looks like a man filled with corruption. So that's 11 inmates that have escaped from some prison in the last 3 weeks. We have 10 that have escaped from Angola and Louisiana, and now this ex-police chief out of North Central Unit in Calico Rock, Arkansas. What's scarier? Coming across one of these street dudes that escaped from Angola, or coming across a legitimate ex-police chief, a police officer with training? Out of the 10 in Angola, there's killers and all that, but this guy is also a killer, the police chief, ex-police chief. Although I do believe that police don't get the best training, but he got training, to say the least. The ex-cop's name is Grant Hardin, and he had a whole documentary made after him called Devil in the Ozarks. I had no idea this existed. I don't watch TV, whether it's cable, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, HBO Max, Apple TV. I haven't watched TV since I was like a preteen. I watch TV when my girl begs me to. We'll go catch movies together, but just me sitting down watching TV on my own time, I don't do that. So I don't have any knowledge of what happened in the documentary, but what I do have is an article to read that details how he escaped, why he was arrested in the first place, and also talks a little bit about Devils in the Ozark, or Devil in the Ozark. It also gives a little bit of information about his time as police chief that only lasted about a year. Let's get into it. Officials have been scouring Arkansas's rugged Ozark Mountains for a former police chief and convicted killer who escaped from prison over the weekend. Grant Hardin, who briefly served as police chief for the small town of Gateway near the Arkansas-Missouri border, was serving a decades-long sentence for murder and grape. Known as the Devil in the Ozarks, he escaped Monday from the North Central Unit, a medium security prison in Calico Rock. The FBI on Friday announced they're offering a reward up to $20,000 for information leading to Hardin's arrest. Hardin's escape happened days after 10 men fled a New Orleans jail by going through a hole behind a toilet. 8 of those fugitives have since been captured. Here's what to know about Hardin and his escape. I'm gonna read this right now, but before I do, I just want everybody to know correctional facilities are a joke when it comes to security. It's either that or a few people were in on it, in my opinion. There's no way you would think one person is able to get away with this. How did he escape? Hardin escaped from the prison Sunday afternoon by impersonating a corrections officer in dress and manner, according to a court document. A prison officer opened a security gate, allowing him to leave the facility. The outfit was not a standard inmate or correctional uniform, said Rand Champion, a spokesperson for the Arkansas Department of Corrections. Officials are working to determine how he was either able to get the uniform or manufacture it himself. Video surveillance shows Hardin escaped at about 2:55 p.m. on Sunday, Champion said. Officials announced his escape about 2 hours later, but how he got out of the prison and escaped into a rural part of the state, as well as whether he had any help, is still unclear. An investigation into what led up to the escape to help determine any assistance he may have had was ongoing, the Arkansas Department of Corrections said. Officials are also looking at whether Hardin's job in the prison kitchen played a role in the escape. His job assignment was in the kitchen, so just looking to see if that played a part in it as well, Champion said. Champion said the decision to house Hardin in a medium security facility, which has the capacity of about 800 people, weighed the needs of the different facilities and inmates and assessments of his crimes. As individuals go, there's very few people that have had that many violent charges that they've been convicted of, said Brian Sexton, the current prosecutor in Benton County, where Hardin was convicted in 2017. Our law enforcement partners in that part of the state are working hard to make sure they pick him up as quickly as possible and get him back in custody. This is a picture of him wearing the disguise, either a provided uniform or a makeshift one. I'm sure people are very resourceful in prison, but this does not look like something that he could make. Somebody should have recognized him at some point. That makes no sense. Have any of you ever played Hitman before? Because you put on a lot of disguises. You can put on whatever disguise. As long as it comes from the place that you're infiltrating, you will get by. I don't want to apply video game logic to this real life scenario, but when you play as 47, there could be a guy working in maintenance with a partner. You could pew pew one of the guys working and the partner would not think twice about it. This guy in this situation is real life, but the same kind of logic applies. Nobody looked at him and recognized him. It's not like he had a realistic mask on, put facial hair on his face, face, put a wig on, nothing like that. All he did was put a hat and a vest on and he walked out. It was an inside job, especially being that he was a police officer. No way. Why was he in prison? Hardin had been held at the Calico Rock prison since 2017 after pleading guilty to first-degree murderoni for fatally shooting James Appleton, 59. Appleton, a Gateway Water Department employee, was shot in the head in 2017. Police found his body inside a car. Hardin was sentenced to 30 years in prison. His DNA was entered into the FBI's combined DNA index system, and it matched the 1997 grape of a teacher at an elementary school in Rogers, a city in northwestern Arkansas. He was sentenced to 50 years in prison for that crime. He was a police officer in Eureka Springs, not far from Rogers at that time. Cheryl Tillman, the mayor of Gateway, is one of Appleton's sisters. CBS News' Ian Lee asked Tillman what her reaction was when she found out Hardin had escaped prison. "My heart just sank," Tillman said. "You know, I thought, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do now?" Tillman told CBS News that anxiety is really high. "I get really nervous and scared, and I don't like guns, but we have one loaded now," Tillman said. His short tenure as police chief. Hardin became police chief of Gateway, a town of about 450 people, in 2016. Virtually overnight, people in the community described in the 2023 HBO documentary Devil in the Ozarks a dramatic shift. "He was out chasing cars for no reason," said Tillman. "He was pulling guns on the citizens here in Gateway, and then as time went on with him being the police chief, things just started to go downhill fast." The documentary revealed a crucial run-in between Hardin and Appleton in the spring of 2016, in which Appleton stood up to Hardin about fixing a police car. A Benton County Sheriff's Office lieutenant described several times when they got into each other's faces and the dislike they both felt towards one another. The city council gave him an ultimatum: resign or be fired. He stepped down 4 months after taking the position, and 9 months later, he killed Appleton. So he was just a bad cop all around, abusing his power every chance he got. Clearly a loser growing up, clearly bullied growing up, wanted to get that gun, wanted to get that badge, and that's all there is to it. Police departments do a terrible job vetting their potential law enforcement. The Devil in the Ozarks documentary. The Devils in the Ozarks documentary revealed key details about the bubbling resentment Hardin felt toward Appleton, as well as revealing accounts of the moments right before and after the murderoni. The then Gateway mayor, Andrew Tillman, Cheryl Tillman's husband and Appleton's brother-in-law, described being on the phone with him when he was shot, while local resident John Bray spoke about driving past Appleton's car when the shooting happened. He was the first to find his body and identified Hardin as the shooter. "I heard what I thought was someone had fired a rifle," he said. "I went back and I seen it look like he had been shot," he added, wiping away tears. The documentary also includes security video of Hardin at a restaurant with his family just after the shooting and the police interrogation, in which he tells law enforcement he has the right to be silent and opted not to give a statement. The search for Hardin. Authorities are using canines, drones, and helicopters to search the rugged northern Arkansas terrain, Champion said. Although he did not reveal the exact areas of the search, he did say it has expanded as more time elapsed since the escape. Officials have faced challenges searching the areas as it's very rocky and heavy rain has fallen in recent days. The area around the prison is a rural part of the state, which can make Hardin's escape more difficult. In a small community, there's a higher chance someone will recognize him and alert the authorities, said Greg Kane, a retired inspector of the U.S. Marshals who has handled many cases involving escaped prisoners. The Division of Correction and the Division of Community Correction are following leads with local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies. Hell of a dangerous dude. This man was a complete criminal and I hope he gets caught. The correctional facility needs to be under complete investigation. Everybody should be questioned that worked there, that was there that day, that wasn't there that day, that had the day off. Everybody needs to be spoken to. There had to have been a person that was watching all surveillance cameras in the facility. Why are they not being questioned? Why did the person watching the cameras not catch an inmate either walking out of their cell or out of their post in the kitchen and proceed to walk out of the door? Could this be a case like Angola where the facility just has terrible infrastructure and it's completely understaffed? It sure as hell seems like it. It should have been a guard somewhere that could recognize him. Another thing is, why is this man not at a maximum security prison? He is a corrupt police officer who was convicted of murderoni and grape. There's a whole lot of things wrong here in my opinion. He escaped prison 6 days ago out of a small town and he still has not been caught. He clearly put a decent amount of thought into this, getting a disguise, leaving successfully, despite what they claim to be rugged terrain, a rugged environment. he may be the hardest inmate to get out of the 11 that have recently escaped. I'm very curious to see what he's going to do with his time out. Could he have a vendetta against those that prosecuted him? Could he be trying to leave the country? I guess we'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think he will be caught soon? What do you feel about all of these inmates escaping in the last 3 weeks? Until next time, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all later.